What's going on, Internet? Eric Bandholz here, founder of Beardbrand. And today I'm going to tell you the major sins a lot of guys make when trying to find the perfect hairstyle. Okay, the first sin is a pretty easy one, and it really comes down to having unrealistic expectations for the type of hairstyle you want. For example, if you've got some pretty high receding temples and you go into the barber shop asking for a French crop, which is a hairstyle where the bangs come down pretty much straight across, you ain't getting it done. It's just not going to happen. It doesn't work with your hairstyle. Same could go for showing a picture of a guy like Costa with like really thick, dark, black hair. And if I went up to that, showed my barber that with my, finer blonde hair, I want to have different results, different expectations. My head shape's a little bit different. My face shape is different. Find models who look like you. Find people who have similar hair type as you and take those into your barber or your stylist as inspiration, not these guys where you look nothing like them. So be realistic with the expectation. The second major sin when it comes to your hairstyle is using the wrong product for your hair. There are a lot of different hairstyling products out there, and it takes a little bit of education into knowing the different uses and what type of performance they're going to deliver. But if you want a high shine pomade, slick back greaser hairstyle, and you're using a sea salt spray or a matte clay, you're not going to get the right look. And frankly, it's like using a screwdriver to bang in a nail. You need a hammer. You need the right tool. But this brings me up to the third sin, which is using the right product, but using it incorrectly. And the biggest mistakes a lot of guys make when applying products is, first of all, they'll use too much. So always start off with less than you think you need, because you can always add more. Not all styling products are water soluble, and water soluble means you can wash it out with water. If it is water soluble, then you've got the advantage of rinsing it out with water and starting again. But if it's like a wax-based pomade, you're going to have to go in the shower and shampoo that up to get all that product out and start all over again. So less is always more with product. Second is always emulsify it completely. Now, emulsify means essentially work it in or rub it in, typically until you can't see the product or is evenly colored in your hand. And the next big mistake they make when applying it is they just go like this. So what happens is you get a lot of product here, and then none here, and then absolutely none here. So what I like to do is try to get it in the fingers and get it down at the roots. When you get it down at the roots, you can get a lot of volume for that. You don't always want volume depending on your hairstyle, but it's a good thing to know. So you get it in the roots for volume. You get it all into the hair if you want a complete control look. And then you want to make sure to also get the sides. Like even if this is really short, the hair is going to look different when you have product applied to it. It may be slightly shinier, maybe a little more matte, a little more dull. So go ahead and make sure you get all over your head, apply it everywhere, and then style it to your needs. Now the fourth major sin that most guys make is having incompetent understanding of what a hairstyle is. You'll see guys where their hair is like this short. It's like they just buzzed it off a couple weeks ago and it's grown out. And they'll take this photo of a picture of a guy with hair that's probably like been growing for a year and it's really long. That kind of hairstyle where it's swooped back. And they'll go to the barber and they'll ask the barber for that cut, and they'll leave upset with the barber or the stylist that they didn't get that cut. But the reality is they have to grow their hair out for 7 months, 8 months. So take a moment to really break down and understand the haircut there. Ask people who have a hairstyle similar to that, how long does it take to grow? How long is your hair? You know, what do you do to make it work? Like, really get a firm understanding of what the haircut looks like and the texture and the aspect of that haircut to be able to first of all, have expectations that are healthy when you go to the barbershop and get that cut, and then to walk away with a haircut that you're really happy with and excited about. Now, the fifth major sin that many men make is not changing your hairstyle. Now, there's some caveats to this, all right? There are some classic hairstyles that you're never going to have to change, that they're going to be good for as old as you get. Bald, for instance. The bald head is always going to be timeless and classic. The crew cut, classic crew cut side part, it's always going to be classic. Now, what I'm talking about are the hairstyles that are maybe a little bit more on trend. So things like the top knot or the mullet from the 80s. These hairstyles were bold and outrageous and very popular in their time, but they're ones that kind of grew out of that trend. And here's the rub. You run the risk, if you're not always evolving your hairstyle, that you may get caught in one of these images of really being behind the times and being lost and not in control and not cool anymore. So it's important to consider to evolve and change your style over time. Now, this doesn't have to be every quarter thing like I do. You know, every time you see me, my hair looks a little different. But keep in mind that if you're trying a new hairstyle, you may need to evolve it. I was at the airport just last week and I saw this guy, really long hair, beautiful long hair, except he was pretty clearly balding up top. And frankly, it looked terrible. And I don't know if he was holding on to that long hair because he thought it still looked good. He's too lazy to get it cut. He didn't think anyone noticed it was thinning. He could have gone with a buzz cut or something short, and it would have looked awesome because he had this great facial structure. He had great facial hair. He had a nice build, and it was just this long hair that was really like driving his looks into the ground. So he may have a fear of cutting all that hair because of how long it took to grow. And I'm telling you, that is a major sin. You always need to consider evolving your look and evolving your style. Now, the last major sin is one that I've been harping on for all my videos. And I bet you a lot of my longtime subscribers are going to know what it's about. But it's something that we've been preaching about here in the Beardbrand office for a while. And it's using a hairdryer. Not specifically like using a hairdryer, but really it's about using tools that help you achieve a desired look. And there's a lot of like baggage that seems to come around with a lot of grooming tools and styling tools or beauty tools or whatever. You know, a round brush or a hair dryer or a straightening iron. All these things are like womenly or womanly, and you get afraid to use them. Meanwhile, there are all these guys rocking these killer hairstyles that you can only get by using a blow dryer. I'm sorry to say, guys, if you want that hairstyle, if you want your hair to look dope as F, then you've got to use a blow dryer. And you're going to have to use some product. And you're going to have to put a little bit of time into it. But it's going to be worth it because you're worth it. And that investment in yourself is worth it. And it's okay. I want to tell you, like, your penis is not going to, like crust off and fall into to the toilet seat if you use a hairdryer. You're still going to be a man. Like you can still smoke cigars and drink whiskeys and do all the manly things that you like to do. Using a blow dryer doesn't change anything about that. So don't let this archaic, old school mentality prevent you from doing the things that you want to do and investing in yourself in a way that you want to invest in yourself. Did I leave something off? Let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Cheers. And keep on growing. Beardbrand is a premium men's grooming company with products not only for your beard, but also your hair and body. do yourself a favor and head over to beardbrand.com and take care of yourself. Or you can stick around and watch a few more of our awesome videos.